Commander Everlong. Commanding officers, special guests, family, friends, fellow Chief Petty Officers, and shipmates. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you here today to witness a Navy tradition that has been performed for over 120 years. The Chief Petty Officer pinning ceremony is the official public recognition and acceptance of those sailors selected to become members of the hallowed halls of the Chief's Mess. We will begin this ceremony with Chief Steve Baird from Performance Monitoring Team Pearl Harbor delivering the invocation. All guests, please rise. Military members, attention.
Oh, great and gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for the chance to come here today and recognize the accomplishment of our shipmates and to honor those who have gone before us. Lord, we pray that you'll continue to protect us as we serve our nation and be with these men as they go on to lead and develop the future sailors that will be serving our great nation over the next several years. At your name we humbly come before you and pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. The training these EAT selectees have received over the past 6 weeks is just a beginning in the journey they are about to embark on. Today they are joining the strong and proud tradition of Chief Petty Officer leadership in our Navy. The duties and responsibilities of a Chief Petty Officer can be strenuous and trying, yet a Chief always perseveres, no matter the challenges. A Chief Petty Officer steams steady forward, all ahead full. A Chief's dedication to their sailors, the ship, the Navy, is unwavering. This resolve is epitomized in the Chief Petty Officer's pledge. Master Chief Wade Tanberg, Command Master Chief of Naval Submarine Support Command Pearl Harbor, will now read the Chief Petty Officer's pledge.
I am a Chief Petty Officer in the United States Navy. I serve my country and her people with pride and honor. I seek no special favors. I make things happen and do the best I can do. I am charged with a leadership role like no other in the world. I develop junior officers and mold my sailors. I acknowledge full responsibility for the actions of my sailors, because these sailors are the seeds of future Chief Petty Officers. I live by the Navy's core values of honor, courage, and commitment. I set the example. I establish the standards of performance. My sailors are students, and I am their teacher. I guide and influence the lives of these young men and women. In the final analysis, I will determine the quality of these sailors. They look up to me because I treat them with dignity and respect. Because they need a leader, I am there for them. After all, I am a Chief Petty Officer in the United States Navy.
Today's guest speaker enlisted in the Navy in 1991 from Thorndale, Texas. Starting his Navy career as a torpedoman, his previous assignments include USS Chicago, Naval Submarine School, and USS Portsmouth. He was welcomed into the Chief's Mess in 2001 and continued his career on USS Bremerton, Technical Readiness Evaluation Team, USS Cheyenne, and Commander Submarine Squadron 1. He then served as Chief of the Boat on USS Greenville and USS Ohio Blue. He was then selected as Command Master Chief of Commander Submarine Squadron 11 in San Diego, California. Please join me in welcoming Force Master Chief Paul Davenport.
Chief of Staff, active and retired captains, commanding officers, command master chiefs, retired command master chiefs, chiefs of the boat, fellow Chief Petty Officers, active and retired, and families and friends, aloha. Aloha. All right, now that I got that out of the way, it is hot up here, so I'm going to continue along with this, but it's a great pleasure of mine to be here today. Like you said, I'm Force Master Chief Paul Davenport, and I'm excited and honored to be the guest speaker on this important and historic day. Today we will witness the transformation. Not only are these sailors entitled to wear the uniform, and I must say, you're all looking very good today. They will also assume the duties of a chief petty officer, and we, the Navy, will gain 8 strong, well-prepared leaders into our chief's quarters. I have had the pleasure of serving the world's greatest submarine force for over 25 years, serving on 6 submarines, deploying 10 times, and being around the best sailors in the world. Any submariner will tell you we have the finest sailors the Navy has to offer. Throughout my career, I looked up to and admired the Chief Petty Officer. They led me and supported me. I owe them a great deal of gratitude and thanks because it was their hard work, determination, and care that helped guide and develop me into the leader I am today. It taught me to never back down from a challenge, to always fight for what was right and to do the right thing. Believe it or not, as he said in 2001, right before I made chief, I was going to get out of the Navy. It took a great woman and one that always demanded the best out of me to convince me that I was on the right path and I should stay the course. Little did I know that my wife, Kathy, was exactly right. In July 2001, we received the news that I had been selected as the Chief Petty Officer. That was the best feeling in the world for me. Once selected, I gained a new confidence and motivation to be an even stronger leader. Now I was going to be the chief, and now everyone gets to carry out my plan. I get to control people in their day-to-day life, and I have a direct influence on their well-being. Wow, that was exciting in itself, and I was totally ready for the challenge. But little did I know, in all the Navy and all the world, did we know what was going to happen just a few days later, or a few months later in September. I was stationed on USS Portsmouth, and we had just set sail for the 7th Fleet on the 5th of September in 2001. On September 11th, we surfaced out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and we conducted a very traditional, time-honored white hat burial ceremony. I will never forget that day. Prior to submerging, the commanding officer got on the 1MC and announced to the crew the tragedy that occurred in New York City, Arlington, Virginia, and Pennsylvania. From that moment on, I vowed to give my all to my country, to our Navy, and to our beloved submarine force. So you could say, at that time in my life, and that time in this great country's history, I found a new sense of motivation and a new level of commitment. And just like me, there are many events and people that have helped shape each and every one of you up here today. You now have to savor this moment, reflect on your past, and make a commitment with me here today that you are going to make a difference, that you are going to be available to your sailors and your commands, that you are going to be approachable, and that you will be accountable to all those around you. I have read a few books in my time. I know, don't anyone laugh. No, it wasn't a coloring book. I know it's hard to believe that an old torpedoman can read and write, and then sometimes can speak in public. But the one book that has really given me a ton of insight into how to develop yourself as a great leader, and how to develop those around you, is The 5 Levels of Leadership by John Maxwell. I won't go through the entire book, but I will tell you that the first level is positional leadership, which is an achievement in itself. And today, these 9 chiefs have earned that position. They have been selected, tested, and accepted. And the acceptance piece came late last night, around 23:30, I think it was. The second level, in my opinion, is the most important. This is gaining the permission from your people to be led. You need to get their permission to lead. This will be strongly controlled by your ability to influence those around you. Make no doubt, everything you do from here on out will be scrutinized by sailors, and it's imperative that you, 1, set the best example, 2, have the highest level of integrity, and 3, demonstrate commitment to your sailors, your ship, and the Navy. As deck plate leaders, you must ensure you are working to create positive climates within your divisions. You must focus on the teamwork, support, and level of care that supports the professional and personal development of each sailor. I have no doubt that these 8 sailors will bring, I have no doubt that these sailors that we bring into the Navy today are the smartest and most focused the Navy has seen. Not only are they the future of the Navy, they are the future leaders of this country. I need you to enable and empower them so that we might unlock their full potential. We demand you as a chief to drive day-to-day standards. We have work to do, and I'm calling on you and all our fellow Chief Petty Officers to take ownership of your sailors and your commands, to build teamwork amongst your divisions and departments. You, the chief, must recognize that our most critical assets are our sailors, and you must approach every day with their needs as a top priority. Clearly communicate with them and be there when they need it most. Train them and demonstrate what it means to take pride in ownership. Lastly, be great at planning and executing maintenance and operation. There are 2 things that are imperative in our submarine force and our Navy, and that is that we maintain our sailors at the top, highest state of readiness, and our boats and ships in top material condition. As I conclude, I ask all of you, look to your left, to me. I ask all of you, never settle for the bare minimum. Get out there, work hard, and be a mature adult. Be accountable and competitive, and I promise you will not only enjoy your tours of duty, but you will build strong sailors that will lead to unit successes and personal successes for you and your sailors. Now let's all get out there and take care of each other along the way. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Who y'all, submarine force? One more speaking engagement. Standing behind our chief selects and sponsors, our sponsors and mentors. They stand as a symbol of our support and have acted as trusted guides in their journey to join the Chiefs Mess. They have successfully guided their charges through their careers and the challenging second phase of CPO 365. And they stand with them today as they join our ranks. Having successfully completed the rigorous training and challenges of the last 45 days, our Chief Selects will now be penned and presented the Chief Combination Card.
Thank you, Forrest, for those great words. Chief Select Jamie Steinbrenner. Chief Select Jamie Steinbrenner is pinned by his wife Lindsay, sister Katie, son Jack, and daughter Alan. Chief Select Steinbrenner enlisted in the Navy in 2001 from Beaver Creek, Ohio. He was first assigned to USS Norfolk in Norfolk, Virginia. He then served as submarine intermediate maintenance submarine maintenance activity in Point Loma, California. He then served as the Fleet Liaison Officer at Strategic Systems Command in Washington, D.C. He was then assigned to the USS Columbus in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, and is now stationed at Naval Submarine Support Command, Pearl Harbor. Chief Select Joseph Scott Rios.